my channel. Yes, I know I have changed the scenery. I'm in a blank white background with just some random painting that I made a while back, but we are not going to concentrate on that. I get a lot of questions about, I want to start makeup, where do I start, what products do I need? And this video is going to tackle all of those things, from tools to products to tips, everything that you would need to start up your makeup as a beginner. And I'm also going to show you guys how to achieve this very beginner friendly everyday kind of makeup look. So this is going to be makeup for beginners slash an updated everyday makeup look, because let's be honest, my makeup has changed so much since my last video, which you guys actually seemed to have really liked. So if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to leave a pop-up right above here somewhere so you can go and watch it. But this is going to be like an update of that, and yeah, and it's going to be step by step. So if you'd like to see that, keep on watching. And the first thing that is very essential for makeup is a blending sponge. Like this is the foundation of makeup. Like if you're starting off makeup, you need a blending sponge. And I have seen these are locally available in Nairobi in Kenya. I've seen them in Super Cosmetics, in Beauty Wholesale. I'm sure they're in other places, but those are the places that I have seen them personally. And the reason why you need a blending sponge is it can double up for foundation, concealer, heck, you can even use this for your contour. And it's just very versatile, and you can use it for a lot of things. And the other good thing is it just gives a flawless finish. The other thing that you need is eyebrow brush. So this is an angled brow brush on one end, and then on the other end is a spoolie. And this is what you use for your eyebrows. This is for brushing up the hairs, and then this is for the concealer underneath. If you can get one that is both a spoolie and an angled brush, then it's a win. The next thing that you need is a powder foundation brush. So this is, it's not compact, it's very loose, very feathery, but it's huge. Like it is wider, it's bigger. So especially for oily skin ladies, you really need a powder foundation brush, because during the day after you've worn your foundation for a couple of hours, it will start to get a bit oily, a bit greasy, and you can use this together with your powder foundation. This is just my powder foundation. You can use this with that and just brush off, put a bit of powder on the areas that you've become oily, and your foundation, your makeup is good to go. So especially for oily skin ladies, this is a must-have. The next thing is a foundation brush. And this is not very essential because you can use a blending sponge for your foundation. But if you want a bit more coverage, then I would advise investing in a foundation brush, because I find that the blending sponge is mostly for light to medium coverage. But this, if you want medium to full coverage, then you can achieve that with foundation brushes. And there are so many kinds of foundation brushes. These are just two of the kinds. This is like, it looks more like a paint brush. And then there is this, which is a flat top, and it's a bit more compact. It's not as loose as the powder foundation brush. And this one is angled. There are some that come angled, there are some that just come shoop straight, but this is angled. And personally I prefer this because I feel like, I don't know, it just applies foundation better. But you can use any of the two is fine. The other thing is a contour brush. This is a contour brush, and it's also a bit loose. It's not as compact, and it's also angled. And this is good for applying contour, and the fact that it is angled, it just helps in, you know, creating that shape for the contour. So this is also not very essential, but if you want variety in your kit, then buy yourself one of these. And for all these brushes, they are locally available in Kenya, in Nairobi, and as I've said, I've seen them in several shops. I've seen them in Super Cosmetics, I've seen them in Beauty Wholesale. I don't know, I've even seen some in Dubois. So you can go and check them out. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is also not essential per se, but variety for the sake of building up your kit, is a highlight brush. So this is the typical fan brush which is used for highlight, and yeah, there's not much to say about this brush, but I personally like using this instead of this. So this is typically like an eyeshadow brush, but it's thicker, like it's thicker than the other eyeshadow brushes, and I just prefer this to apply highlight because I can concentrate it more, and I feel like I have more control with this brush applying on specific areas than with this brush. I feel like this brush goes where it wants to go, like you cannot control this brush. I prefer this, but again, it just depends on your preference. You can choose any of the two, either or is fine. So that's it for the tools. There's not much. Going to get into the actual tutorial, and it's going to be step by step. So the first thing I usually do for my everyday makeup routine, when you don't want to go all the way, you don't want to flex on people, you don't want to be too much, but you also want to look a bit more glam, the first thing I do is eyebrows. I do my eyebrows, and on a normal day, on an everyday kind of day, I would just brush my hairs up. Oh, and I forgot to say, makeup is way better. It's way better doing your eyebrows when they're already shaped, whether you thread them or you twist them or you use a razor blade. It is way better than if they are bushy and have no structure. Like that is just a big pile of mess. You do not want that. So shape your eyebrows, whatever method you will use, shape your eyebrows. And mine are shaped, but they haven't been done in a minute. So on a normal day, I will just use the eyebrow pencil and keep it moving, which is this. I usually use this Dewy's pencil. Let me guess. And I use the number 18. For myself, I just like this one. I just like how natural it looks. But because I haven't done my eyebrows in a minute, I think I'm going to apply concealer underneath. And this is very optional. If your eyebrows are good, just put a pencil to fill it and, you know, keep it moving. The next thing that I'm going to do after my eyebrows is prep my skin. So I forgot to tell you that when you're starting off doing your makeup, you want to have a clean face. You want to have a clean and moisturized face. You do not want to put on makeup on a dirty face because that will just lead to breakout. So I had already cleaned my face. My face is clean and I already moisturized. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is apply primer. There are two main things when you're starting off as a beginner that are necessary for you to invest in. The rest of the stuff you can try out with, you know, here and there, cheaper options. But if you're starting off makeup and you are on a budget, you do not want to spend so much, there are two main things that you need to invest in, and one of the things is a primer. So a primer can make or break your makeup. A primer is it's very, very essential, and there are so many different types of primers depending on your skin type. If you're oily skin, there are mattifying primers. If you're dry skin or combination skin, there are hydrating, there are pore perfecting. There are so many kinds of primers. So personally, I'm oily skin, so I'm going to use a mattifying primer, and I personally use the Becca primer, and it just looks like this. And this is if you're really, really oily skin. If you're combination skin or they're just your dry skin and there are areas that you just get oil, then I would advise like this MAC. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Refined Zone Treatment. This is a bit more mild. Like this can be used by ladies who have combination skin, or if you have dry skin but you have areas that are that get a bit oily, whether it's your T-zone or your cheeks, then you can use this. If you get really oily, like personally I feel like I get even more oily when I'm wearing makeup than when I'm not wearing makeup, so I personally use this. And I apply this on the areas that I know I am most oily, and that for me is my T-zone and my cheeks. So that is where I'm going to concentrate with this. The next thing that I usually do is color correct, and for that I use the L.A.Girl. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do not currently have a drugstore substitute for the Becca and the MAC primer, but I don't know, lady, if you know a good primer that is mattifying, please put it in the comment section, and is locally available, please put it in the comment section, and let us help each other out here, ladies. So the next thing I'm going to do is color correct, and for that I use the L.A.Girl Pro Concealer. This is in Orange Corrector. And this is just for my dark circles. Like, we all have areas on our faces, or let me not say we all, because there's some people with just flawless skin. Most of us have some dark circles, whether it's underneath your eyes, on the sides of your mouth, and things on smile lines or things like that. So that is where I'm going to apply the Orange Corrector. After the Orange Corrector is the foundation. So this is the other thing that I would advise to invest in. Do not buy just cheap, affordable foundation because you're on a budget, because a foundation is the other thing that can make or break your makeup. You need to invest in a good foundation, and the good thing about most foundations is a little goes a long way, so you can have it for a long time, also depending on how much you wear makeup. So for beginner friendly, these are the ones that I'm going to be giving you, are so beginner friendly, and they're actually one of my favorite foundations, and that is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. So this is it. This is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and this is in the shade 360 Mocha. And this is the matte and poreless foundation. This is for the oily skin ladies. I also have in the same shade 360 Mocha the Fit Me foundation in Dewy and Smooth. This is for the dry skin ladies. So there is options. You have options. This is written normal to oily skin, then this is written normal to dry skin. So you can choose either depending on your skin type, which is important. You need to know your skin type because your makeup will depend on your skin type. So these are available in Kenya. There are so many Maybelline stands. There's one in Yaya. Actually, I just know the one in Yaya, but I know there was one in some Nakumatt. I don't know with this whole Nakumatt saga if they are still there, but they are. You can check on their Instagram page or on their website. They are available in several places, and these are just very beginner friendly, and I will say these are light to medium coverage. So generally I just love these foundations. So I'm going to use this with the angled flat top foundation brush. going to conceal, and I'm just going to go underneath my eyes because it will make me look a bit more awake. And if you've been watching my channel, you know this is the only concealer that I ever use, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is in 30 Cafe. I hope that's right. This is in 30 Cafe, and the reason I love this concealer is because it goes so well with the Fit Me foundation, and this is only one shade lighter than my foundation. So if you're going for an everyday look, you want something that is a bit closer to your foundation shade. You do not want to go 2-3 shades lighter than your foundation because you're trying to go for a natural look and everyday kind of look, which, like, if you do 2-3 shades lighter, it just looks way dramatic, and that is not what we are going for. So I use this, and I'm going to put it underneath my eye. So I'm just going to concentrate it just that area because I only want it to reach here. Like so. And then I also like to highlight my chin and this place. What is this? The Cupid's bow. So as you can see, I am taking it all the way to the end of my eye and then bringing it down and just working around that area. After I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with my setting powder. This is the Sacha Buttercup Setting Powder. You got me singing, way oh, way oh, oh. You look like a guy who could treat me right. Way oh, way oh, oh. Boy, take a chance, will you let me ride? Way oh, oh. I could be the best thing in your life. And then after that dries, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the highlight brush, my make-believe highlight brush, and I'm going to highlight I'm going to go in with the same contour palette, and I'm going to use this highlight shade, this one right here, and I'm going to highlight some areas on my face just to make it pop. You got me singing, way oh, oh. You look like a guy who could treat me right. Way oh, oh. Boy, take a chance, will you let me ride? Way oh, I could be the best thing in your life. Take a drive. Way oh, oh, oh. 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 Way oh, yeah, so we are almost done. The next step is mascara. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fun Effect mascara, and this mascara is really good. Like, it really lengthens your eyelashes, and just, I don't know, they just look, it gives it a wispy look, and they just really look nice. So I'm actually going to use this for my bottom lashes. You can use it for both. For an everyday look, it's perfect, but I'm actually going to just use it for my bottom lashes, and then I'm going to put some false lashes, which I'm going to show you. You got me singing, you look like a guy who could treat me right. So this you do not have to do, and this is not even beginner friendly, but my eyelashes are pretty much non-existent. So for my everyday look, I like to put these false lashes, and these are the most natural looking lashes that I have come across. These are the Adele Wispies 122, and they are just very natural. They are very natural looking. It's nothing dramatic. You can totally use this for every day, and I just like how they make my lashes look, so I use this for an everyday look. So I'm actually going to step off of the camera. I put this on because I haven't mastered doing that on camera. Then I'm going to come back and show you guys the finished look. So I have put on the lashes and it is not looking perfect, but we are going to work with it the way it is. I had forgotten the last step. The last step is your lips. And for an everyday look, for every day, I just use a clear lip gloss. This is by Sleek. I just use a clear lip gloss, but I go in a bit with a bit of the pink. This is by Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquid lipstick. This is number 5. This is Nude Flash. I just go in just very little, and then I apply the lip gloss on top. So that is what I'm going to do.
Take a chance, will you let me ride? I could be the best thing in your life. Baby, let's take a drive, take a drive.
That's it, guys. That is it for this look. There's really not much to it. It's very simple, it's very fast. You can do it within like 10 minutes or 15 minutes and you're done. And this is just the finished overall look. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, a very big thumbs up, and comment down below any more suggestions that you could have, or any more questions, or if you have some affordable drugstore substitutes for the products that I have mentioned, put them also in the comment section. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, subscribe down below. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. Like, just pause this video here and subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified once I post a new video. Yes, and that's it for this look, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.